Firstly, thank you very much for coming to my show. So I thought I've gone through your profile. I can see you're doing a lot of work. So I thought to tell about you and the work that you're doing to my audience. So can you please introduce yourself?
Yeah. I'm a WordPress. I make
Uh,
sites.
your voice is not clear.
Okay. So okay, I think it was on the wrong mic. Is that better?
This is this is perfect.
Okay, sweet. Yeah. So I'm a WordPress developer. Um, I make WordPress websites and WordPress plugins. Um, I founded the store Mongoose Marketplace where I sell and release some of my plugins. And yeah, locally I do contracting for agencies and yeah, doing development and DevOps.
And when you're founder for Mongoose Marketplace.
Yep. Yep. So it's a WordPress plugin store that I started I don't know 5 or so years ago. I made my first plugin back in 2017, and then as I started making more of them, I kind of had to figure out some way to put them all. So that's how that came about.
So why you wanted to work on plugins and is there any background story for this?
Um, Not really. Just I had to do it in my job. Had to make new features and that sort of thing. And I thought, like the first one I made, I was building a website, and we wanted to put a Facebook page feed on it. And so I built it, and I'm like, hey, that was pretty cool. Why not just release that for other people to use? Yeah, so that's how that came about. Yeah, nothing more than just you know finding a use case and building a solution for it, and then releasing it.
And how many plugins you design?
Um, I've released about six or so out on the marketplace, but I've made like plenty more through my through my work. Yeah, probably 50 or so. Lots from little things to really big ones. But most of them would be client specific, just for a certain site. But yeah, I've got about half a dozen that I've put up that can be downloaded from the store.
And what are those the six plugins that are already published?
So the main one is called Mongoose Page Plugin. Um, so it's the Facebook feed one. So I started that back in 2017, and yeah, it's got more than 20,000 websites it's being used on now. Um, I've I've got one that it'll display the latest music you've been listening to. Um, I've got a social sharing one, that adds buttons to share your articles to social media networks. I've got a plugin that makes users have to activate their account before they can log in. I've found I've had to use that on a few different sites, especially membership sites, and a couple of my old ones that I don't really have anymore, um, like early versions of a block editor before WordPress rolled that into core itself, and stuff like that.
So total, how many downloads or how many installations you got for all the plugins that you published?
Um, it's a bit hard to tell exactly the way that WordPress does their reporting, but the main one's got between 20,000 and 30,000 websites it's being used on, and Um, but that one's available for free on WordPress.org. The rest of them I sell, and they get a few every year. So yeah, not a lot for the premium ones, but yeah, all up somewhere between 20 and 30,000. But it's a bit hard to tell exactly.
So, how much experience you have on WordPress?
So I started using WordPress back in 2014, I think. Um, and yeah, it was just suggested to me that I should look into it because I was, doing web development sort of work. And yeah, so 2014, that's nearly 10 years experience. So yeah, I got my first job as a WordPress developer. Yeah, at 19. So yeah, nearly 10 years ago. And yeah, been working with it ever since.
So, how many projects you have done in this whole period?
That's a good question. Lots. Um, yeah, I've probably built over 100 sites, I'd guess, um, and worked on probably a couple hundred. These days I don't do a lot of building new sites, but I do a lot of work on maintaining existing ones. So yeah, working on a lot of different things at once, but not building as many these days.
So, what kind of businesses you built for?
Mainly small, medium businesses. So, uh, um, yeah, like business coaches and that sort of thing. Local shops. I've been doing a lot of work recently with sporting teams and organisations because I'm a big cricket fan, and I spend a lot of time playing cricket and working with clubs and organisations, doing websites for those guys. So, yeah, a very broad range, anything from a little one-page website for a dance studio to building membership sites for thousands of people. So, yeah, all different types of projects.
So, you are a professional cricketer.
No, not professional. I wish.
So, you played for clubs.
Yeah, I play for my local club down here. But yeah, nowhere near professional level, unfortunately. I just like it a lot.
Yeah. Just mentioning that I played for top level cricket in India, in my state, most as a captain. I'm a
Okay,
wicketkeeper
nice.
batsman. So,
Nice.
just relating with what you said.
Yeah. Um, I'm mainly a spin bowler, but when all our keepers aren't available half the time, so I've been keeping just as much as I've been bowling lately.
Great. So, apart from sports, what kind of businesses you built websites?
Yeah, so small to medium businesses mainly. Yeah, some e-commerce stores, membership sites, yeah, all that sort of thing. Yeah, anywhere from a little brochure website to big e-commerce websites and membership sites. So a very broad range.
So, how they are working now?
The websites.
Yeah, that you built.
Um, yeah, yeah, it's a good question. I don't check in on some of the older ones too much because you change jobs and whatnot. Um, but um, yeah, they all seem to be holding up pretty well, I think. The ones that are still there and haven't had a new one replace them. Um, yeah.
And what are your technology skills?
So mainly use PHP. That's what WordPress is mainly built off, at least up until very recently. So yeah, PHP, HTML, CSS, Sass, Git, JavaScript, mainly jQuery. All your traditional, HTML sort of stack.
And working on WordPress and building websites on WordPress, you decided to create your own plugins, maybe because of the requirement that you got.
Yeah. So pretty much all the plugins I've made, it's something that I've had to build for a website I've been working on, and then it's like, oh, this could be really good to put together in a way that I can just reuse it. So, instead of just building that into the project, you set it up as a plugin, and then you can reuse it on all the different projects.
Are you a plugin specialist or a WordPress developer specialized in WordPress?
Um, I would say I'm a WordPress developer. It's like I've done little bits of programming and other things, but I've only really worked properly on WordPress. So yeah, that's what I'd call myself.
So you can design any plugin for any company based on the requirement.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, I've worked on some really complicated things for big companies. Like one project I'm working at the moment is a bit of a membership e-commerce site. It's really big and complicated. So yeah, I've been working with WordPress for about 10 years, and I've tended to specialize in doing the really complicated stuff. So bit less of the front end and more the back end, making things work and that sort of thing.
So what challenges that you have faced in this 10 years with the WordPress?
Um, well, WordPress is always changing. They've got a block editor now, which is nice. But it's built with React, so that's a whole new technology for me. So I haven't done a great deal of work with that side of thing yet, just because I haven't had a lot of time or need to work too much with React, because there's a lot of tools that can help me do what I need to do with just PHP or just jQuery at the moment. Yeah, that's probably the biggest thing, is how much it's been changing. And obviously you have, some of your problems that everyone else would run into, like, clients who don't pay and that sort of thing. But, yeah, so that's probably the main thing.
And I'm sure you must have been very happy for thousands of users for your plugin.
Oh yeah, yeah. I wasn't expecting it, but, yeah, it was nice to watch it, grow. And, you look back and it's a couple hundred, and then you look back a few months later and it's a couple thousand. And yeah, like when I first released it, I was a teenager, and I wasn't expecting anyone to really use it. But then it started to grow, and so I worked pretty hard on nurturing that and adding the features that other more popular plugins were having. And yeah, like, it's obviously something really nice to put on your CV and say, I've got tens of thousands of websites running my code. So yeah, it's been really good, and it was a good learning experience too, to understand how the whole ecosystem works and that sort of thing.
And have you expected while designing that this is going to be used by people who I don't know?
Um, yeah, like, you never know who's gonna use your stuff. Um, I certainly didn't expect that many people to be using it. And like, it's funny, sometimes you come across a website and you're like, oh, that's using my plugin, and it's all these sorts of things. Like, there's websites in other languages using my plugin. It's like, oh, I never even thought that someone in Switzerland would be using it, or stuff like that. So yeah.
So after you getting this information that it is being used for different purpose and for different businesses and by different people, have you changed your mind and built plugins for business purpose? Like only putting business thing in the mind?
Um, Not really. It's more just finding a use case on a project that you're already having to do and seeing if it's something that could be used on other websites. So I haven't really gone and like made a plugin with the mindset of, oh, I need to build a plugin to sell. It's more a natural thing that comes as you work on a project and you're like, oh, this functionality would be good to repurpose and other people would find this useful and that sort of thing.
So you have built a lot of plugins by yourself. So which are relating to other people's problems and also solving other people's problems. So in this 10 years, you have so much experience. What is WordPress and how things works in WordPress. So how much you know, how much you can do with it.
Um, Both a lot and not as much as I'd like. um, yeah, like technology is a very deep rabbit hole. Yeah, so there's plenty of things that I'd like to do. Like, I haven't really done much with front end frameworks like, React and that sort of thing, but um, I'm also pretty confident in being able to do most things get thrown my way. So yeah, I've built lots of complicated things in the past. So um, yeah, it's hard to say exactly, but yeah, um, you know, kind of in the middle of my career sort of thing. Pretty good at a lot of things, but there's still a lot of things I want to learn as well.
So in this technology evolution, in 10 years, I'm sure you might have seen a lot of changes that is happening in technology. So being a WordPress developer, so how you adapted to the changes and how you designed things according to the present requirements.
Um, yeah, it's interesting watching how it's changing. Um, like I don't build too many new sites at the moment, so I haven't had to deal too much with all the changes. But yeah, it's just keeping an eye on, the development logs and that sort of thing and seeing what's changing and, seeing how you could use that in the future. And, also keeping an eye on like what the other technology things are happening. Like ChatGPT, for example, is pretty new, but it's everywhere, and people are getting ChatGPT to write plugins for them instead of writing it themselves now. So yeah, it's just keeping an eye on like the official development blogs and Twitter and that sort of thing, and keeping an eye on like where things are going and yeah, all the official documentation. And there's also plenty of like Slack groups and Facebook groups and that sort of thing where people share what they're working on and that sort of thing. So just, yeah, keeping your finger on the pulse, really.
And which plugin was challenging for you and which you enjoyed developing it?
Um, that's a good question. I'd say probably the Facebook page one, which was the first one I built. Because back then I'd only been using WordPress for maybe less than a year. So I was still learning all the different aspects of WordPress. Obviously didn't know it as well as I do now. So I made lots of mistakes early on. I couldn't figure out how to use SVN, which was I still don't like using it. But yeah, so I'd say that's probably the most challenging and the most satisfying one because yeah, it forced me to learn a lot because I was still pretty new, but um, also, really enjoyed seeing how much it's being used and, lots and lots of downloads and that sort of thing. So probably that one.
So, do your clients will have the technology knowledge in order to present their requirement to you?
Um, Generally, not so much. Like clients, like some clients do come, wanting a WordPress website or a WordPress plugin, or they've got an existing website they need work on. But others are just looking for a solution, and they want a website or they want, a booking system or, stuff like that. And, um, so you just, I'm a WordPress developer, so I'm going to use WordPress as the solution. And, so they don't really necessarily have technical knowledge or understanding, but, they have a solution and I can build the solution for, they have a problem that they're looking to get a solution for, and, I'll use the best, technology and functionality, in my experience to build that for them.
So, working on different user interfaces, also using different hosting platforms. So, what is your observation in this 10 years?
Um, yeah, there's lots of different hosting platforms and, um, services and that sort of thing. Some are better than others. Um, like, yeah, for example, like a WP Engine is usually pretty good. They're one of the big names in the WordPress hosting space. And then you run into, small little hosts that I've never heard of, and, you can't change the PHP version and that sort of thing. So, yeah, it can be challenging sometimes. But it's good. Like, it's always a learning experience, and, because hosting is often similar, at least in a lot of different places. So you can always take what you learn and use it to help you with, like, dealing with other platforms as well.
And what kind of different problems that you want to solve and that you enjoy and that you get excited when you get that kind of a problem?
Um, like complex technical stuff is what I really like doing. So, it's hard to really define, but, like, I don't do so much of, making pretty websites. It's, complicated functionality, like, working with APIs, especially, that sort of thing, processing data and mutating it, and that sort of thing, is probably what I like doing the most.
And what services you have used?
Um, Uh, a variety of different ones, like booking systems is a big one. People want to make bookings, like, through their website and that sort of thing. Job applications is another one. A lot of clients have job boards on their website, and so when they put their job up on, like, a recruitment platform like Seek or Indeed or something like that, they want it on their website as well. Um, yeah, like, Spotify and Last.fm and other music related ones. They're usually pretty good. And obviously, like, sport ones for, like, getting scores and that sort of thing to pull onto websites as well.
And what kind of feedbacks that you get?
From, like, the clients,
Yeah, from about your work.
they're usually pretty happy. That, always want to do a good job, and, you never want to let a client down. But, yeah, like, it's hard sometimes because I do a lot of technical stuff, so they may not understand exactly, how much work has gone into it, or all the things that are going on in the background. But, yeah, they generally seem pretty happy and, appreciative of the work I do.
So how do you explain the clients who are not into development and who don't have much knowledge about how things are? working inside it, how you manage and how you explain them, because it's very important, right, to in order to tell them how the process is going on to the person who is not technical.
Yeah. Yeah, so generally have some sort of like handover meeting or something like that where you walk them through, um, how it works and that sort of thing. Um, yeah, I'm a developer, so I don't do too much work directly with the clients, sometimes leave that for someone else to do. But, yeah, like the big thing for me is making it easy enough for them to use. So, there are some things that you run into where there's like 1,000 different settings and it's really complicated and you don't know where things are and that sort of thing, where the simpler you can make an interface and the less work that the client has to do, the better, and so it's easier for them to understand how it works and what they have to do.
And usually, what is the time that you take in order to develop any site?
Um, how long's a piece of string? Um, it really depends on what sort of features um, and what sort of budget the client wants. But yeah, anywhere from just a couple hours to do a really simple brochure site that's a couple pages, to um, some sites that are big corporations. It could be um, 1, 2, 300 hours for setting it up. If there's lots of content and lots of functionality that needs to be built. So yeah, it all depends on how big the project is.
And why Mongoose Marketplace? Why this name?
Um, so I went on a camp once when I was in primary school, and like it was a district one, so kids from all different schools were on it, and so no one knew anyone's name. And I had a Mongoose BMX shirt on the first day, and so everyone just called me Mongoose. So yeah, that's where it came from. And yeah, marketplace is just alliteration, also starts with M. So yeah, that's where the Mongoose comes from.
And why this you wanted to found this and present your work?
Um, it kind of just evolved over time. Because yeah, I had one plugin that I released, but I kind of needed to find a way to keep all the different ones I was putting out together. And not just under my name. And like if I couldn't maintain them anymore, if I had to hand them over and that sort of thing. So I wanted to find some sort of way that would keep all my plugin work together without being too closely tied to me. Um, and so yeah, that's how I came up with it. And plus it gave me the opportunity to do some of my own brand work. I've done sites for clients and done logos and branding and that sort of thing for other people, but I'd never really had a chance to do it for myself before. So it was a good opportunity to do that as well.
So hundreds of websites, hundreds of memories and experiences doing solving different problems, solving different errors and bugs. So how do you explain this experience?
It's a big, broad experience. It's lots of different things I've done over the years. Yeah, it's hard to all put it into a sentence or two because there's just so much. Like 10 years, technology changes so much. But yeah, I like solving problems with code. That's pretty much all it comes down to in the end. Um, yeah, and I've been working with WordPress for 10 years. It's what I specialize in. Um, I like to think that I'm pretty good at what I do, but that's all subjective. But yeah, 10 years is a lot in some ways. But, technology changes so fast that, 10 years experience it's a lot, but it also is, like you got to keep learning because, you could, that your years of experience aren't necessarily relevant moving forward as well. So it's, yeah, a bit of both worlds.
So when do you felt like this is a problem that I never solved before for the first time in your uh, uh, career as a WordPress developer?
Um, ooh, that's a fun one. Yeah, so I don't know, like most problems you run into, you've seen before in some way or another. There's an error code is an error code. It's different code that creates it, but it's usually the same sort of thing. Um, but like the WordPress ecosystem is really broad. There's 50,000 different plugins that are on the free repository alone. So yeah, when there's problems with like other plugins and that sort of thing, I've only used a very small number of plugins. I've used a couple hundred for sure in my years of work, but there's tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of different plugins out there. So you always come across something that's new and you've never seen it before and that sort of thing. So like problems all tend to be pretty similar in the end, what it boils down to, but there's so many different ways that they take shape with all the different services and plugins and that sort of thing. So yeah.
And working for different scales of companies and businesses, and working for small to bigger companies, designing for them and working on their functionalities and their requirement. Uh, how does it work? Do you find difficulty while they give you something that you never seen before?
Um, yeah, sometimes like, um, the probably the hardest thing is being able to give like quotes and estimates for things that you haven't really seen or done before. The clients always like to know how much things are going to cost and when things are going to get done. But if you haven't seen the problem before, it can be a bit hard to really know how hard it will be to fix or implement and how long that'll take. So yeah, that's probably the hardest part is being able to understand myself how difficult something will be if I haven't seen it before.
And I can also see you write blog as well.
Yeah, a little bit. I've been a bit slack recently, but yeah, I tend to write blogs on problems that I've been able to solve in my work, like similar to how I've ended up making these plugins. You run into a problem that needs fixing, and you search for a solution and you can't find it. And then you come up with the solution yourself. And so, yeah, I've written, I don't know, a fair few blog posts like that where, yeah, it's just me trying to help other people who are running into the same problems that I am, and yeah, if it saves someone all the time that it spent me trying to solve that problem, even if it's only one person, then it's worth it. So, yeah.
And have you worked people with outside your country, and how is working with them?
I have done a little bit. There was one project in particular I worked on. There were two of us developers, and one was in America, and I was here in Australia. And so that worked really well because we would both start work as the other one was finishing. So we were able to hand over really well. Um, but yeah, like most of my work has been, for companies in Australia. And some of them have like offices overseas, but, um, not a lot of work with companies and other developers from overseas other than that one really. Something that I'll certainly have more experience with at some point in the future, but not too much at the moment.
And how these WordPress websites are impacting internet?
Um, WordPress, I think, is like 40 something% of the internet. So it's very popular because lots of different types of websites can use it. It started off as a blog, but now you can build e-commerce sites and membership sites and all these complicated different things. So yeah, it's kind of changed how the internet is in a way because it's so popular. But yeah, it's pretty big now.
So, so what you think when you comes when you observe this 40% in the internet, most of the users in the world are using it, and how is this WordPress evolution? How do you define what made it work to become 40%?
Um, it's flexibility really, because like out of the box you can build a simple site really easily, but like for someone like me, it also has the functionality to build really complicated things and hook into what it's doing and then change it and that sort of thing. So like their hook system is really good. And allows for lots of different customizations and that sort of thing. So yeah, the flexibility to be both really, really simple and really advanced as well is probably the main thing.
And do you remember when you heard first time about WordPress?
Yeah. So it was, yeah, 2014, I think. And yeah, I was at university and I'd finished all my work for the semester, and the instructor suggested that I look into, a bunch of like frameworks, and so he mentioned WordPress as one of them. Um, and like it wasn't the only thing that he mentioned. He mentioned like Cake PHP and Magento and other things like that. But yeah, WordPress was the one I ended up picking up on, and I didn't like look at it for a while after that. Like I did some research and downloaded it and whatnot, but yeah, that was the first time I heard about WordPress and looked into it.
And working in WordPress for a long time and helping a lot of people in maintaining their businesses and helping them in somehow way. So how that feels as a technologist?
It's definitely satisfying. Like being able to see that the work you're doing is helping these businesses. Like seeing that their email subscribers go up after you do their work, and their sales go up and that sort of thing. So yeah, it can be really satisfying seeing that these businesses are growing and doing well because of the work that you've been able to do for them.
So seeing different businesses and different functionalities of different websites that you have designed. So what do you think that is working for any business to reach everywhere and to a lot of users in the world? Because you're a developer, you know how it is uh, how it is being made.
Um, Sorry, can you just say that one again?
You have worked on different projects and uh, you're seeing a lot of websites are reaching a lot of users, and every website have number of users, and you know the functionalities of different websites that you have designed, and also the websites that you have not designed that are already there in the internet which have different functionalities. And in this 10 years of experience, have you got any idea that this is the functionality which reaches to large number of audience, or because you know while developing and like you have designed your own plugins, you don't know that it is going to reach thousands of people. But in this 10 years of experience, have you came to an conclusion that this is the thing that works for 100%?
Yeah. So it's just doing the preparation right from the start is the main thing. Yeah, and like not just building a website to, just to build the website, but thinking about all the different things that come into it, like page speed and accessibility and that sort of thing. Like thinking about that and planning that into the website from the start is the main thing. Because if you try and like retrofit that into a website once you've built it, then it takes more time and it's a lot harder. So that's probably the one thing that works for every website. Like, it's not really a hack to like get you users and traffic and conversions and whatnot, but your um, your your project and your website will be a lot better if you like prepare and plan everything from the start, and rather than try and add things in afterwards.
And tell me, you as a DevOps engineer,
Yeah, a little bit. My roles kind of evolved into DevOps over the past couple of years. Yeah, like doing less work building websites and more work maintaining them and setting up the systems around them.
so how is this transformation uh, from WordPress developer to automation?
Um, it's been fun. Like in some ways it's similar because I'm still trying to solve a problem. Similar to what I'd be doing with code on a website. But yeah, it's just come about as the companies that I work with, as things that come up that they need, and um, yeah, I just I like to solve problems, and I see that we need to automate things, and we need to be tracking things and whatnot. So I just built it because we needed it, and yeah, it's kind of just like I kind of blinked and I missed it. I didn't really realize it was happening, and it's like, oh, I'm more a DevOps now than I am a developer. But yeah, so it's been fun, and it's happened. I don't know, it happened over a couple of years, but it felt like it happened really fast, and I didn't even notice it.
I'm curious because I'm DevOps engineer as well. I'm curious to know what you like in DevOps engineer. You as a DevOps engineer, what you like doing it.
So I mainly do a lot of automation stuff like deploys and version control related stuff. Um, and building systems. So like if you want to update your WordPress website, like doing that remotely and that sort of thing. So yeah, like I'm still fairly new to DevOps, and like it wasn't like I've got like a DevOps job or anything. It kind of just happened, but yeah, like it is satisfying, like when you see things that just work, and you click the button and it does exactly what it's supposed to, and all the different things happen. The deploy goes off, and the alerts come through, and all this sort of thing. It just all you know it works when it works seamlessly. It's really satisfying.
So you are both. You are a full stack developer as well as a DevOps engineer. You are responsible for the entire process of software development life cycle. So you worked on WordPress for a long time in your life, and now you become DevOps engineer. Now you are doing the extension work. So how that previous experience, that long development experience, is connected to your DevOps engineering work today?
It's been really important because I understand what a developer needs, and I understand how they go about their work and, you know, how they build their websites and that sort of thing. So yeah, rather than, and, you know, coming into it and not really understanding development, like I know how development works and, you know, cause I am a developer. So yeah, it's been really helpful, you know, cause I can understand what I need as a developer and, for what I need to implement as a DevOps engineer.
So you're very lucky that you know both the works. Since I'm DevOps engineer, but I have done some development work or development projects for my university. But now I still have to ask developer how you did this and how you have done that.
Yeah, yeah. Like I still need to ask other developers too sometimes because, you know, we don't all work on the same things all the time. And, you know, other developers have different requirements and different ways of working. And you, as a DevOps engineer, you need to try and find something that works for everyone. And, you know, it's not always possible, but, you know, that's what you aim for. So, yeah, like I have been lucky in a way, yeah.
And what kind of clouds you have used?
Um, like most of my stuff is like Git based. So a lot of like GitHub Actions and that sort of thing. Like some third party stuff, like working with Google Drives and Amazon, like S3 and that sort of thing. But most of it is like GitHub and like Bitbucket pipelines and that sort of thing. So like version control related stuff.
So I'll put your Mongoose Marketplace website in the description of this video, also on the screen as well. Also, your links on the screen and also in the description. People who find our video or can see the work that you're doing, can learn from you.
Thanks.
Yeah, and as a DevOps engineer, as a person who is into WordPress development from 10 years, what is your observation about my work? Have you seen any videos of mine on YouTube?
I haven't yet. Yeah, this interview came about really fast, so I hadn't had a chance to. But I'll definitely be looking at a few once this call's over.
Definitely, you will feel very happy after seeing this, after seeing my work. I'm happy that you didn't saw. Actually, I want your observation. I took more than 580 interviews of technology experts from 100 plus countries in the world. And I'm talking with like this, asking them how they did it, what they did it, what projects they did, and how they did it, and how they are doing it. Not only developers, also business owners, founders, uh, uh, also people from non-technical background. I did masters in software engineering, also bachelor's in computer science and engineering. Right now, I'm doing DevOps engineering work. But apart from this, my personal project is like interviewing experts like you who are already in the industry, who are solving different problems and who are creating things which are not existed before. And also recently I interviewed Amazon Web Services Vice President from United States. And I tried to explore how top level business like data centers, how these things works. And also a lot of people from Microsoft, a lot of people from Netflix, like all the top companies, technology companies in the world. So me as a DevOps engineer talking with experts like you, questioning you and getting answers and what I'm going to learn and how this is going to helpful for me if I work in IT in coming days.
Yeah, that's really cool. Like, yeah, that's a lot of people. Like good job. Yeah, like it's always good to talk to people and learn from other people. Like, you know, I've done like talks at meetup groups and stuff like that. And yeah, there's so much that you can learn from everyone else because everyone's experience is so unique.
So how that conversations are going to helpful for me as a DevOps engineer?
Um, sorry. Um, if because there's so many different countries in the world and so many different programming languages and so many different technology stacks that no two people's experience is going to be the same. And so talking to people and hearing their experiences will it'll help you see things that you haven't experienced yourself before, and having that understanding of like how to approach things, or hearing what technology might be good to use is really helpful, because it gives you the option to use things and see things that you might not have otherwise known about.
Yeah, that's a great thing. I will just keep in your words in my mind. Can I put this video on my YouTube channel with your permission?
Yeah, go for it.
And also, can I put this audio and video clip on my podcast, website, internet, social media, everywhere with your permission?
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, keep going, keep helping, and keep solving more different problems. And also, me and my followers also see what you are doing and can learn how many plugins that you are going to publish.
Hopefully a few more. We'll see.
Thank you again, Cameron.
uh, Thanks for having me. It's been good to meet you.
Yeah, take care.
Thank you.